If you didn't watch the game and you're just reading the comments, you would think the Jets have lost this week, but the Jets captured their third win of the NFL season, beating the Houston Texans 21-14. Let's take a look at it and hand out some grades.
Jets, Jets!
All right, welcome in. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. The Jets wind up winning 21-14 over the Houston Texans, but if you look at any of the Facebook posts, the comment section, forum posts, people are just losing their mind. Really not happy with this victory across the board. It was a tough one to watch. I'm not going to lie. But let's jump into it. Let's talk a little bit about each of the position groups, and then we'll kind of digest how we're feeling about everything right here. So special teams, we're going to start off there. Matt Amendola winds up missing another field goal. It just feels like this guy is so shaky from 40 yards and out. He misses a 42-yarder, I think, today. Winds up 2 of 3 with the miss, and it actually got to the point where later on in, I believe it was the fourth quarter, we had a 4th and 4 where we would have had about a 50-yard field goal attempt, and Robert Saleh decided to go for it. There's just no confidence in Amendola, and it would not shock me if we saw his name cut in the near future, especially since the Jets brought on that new kicker this week. So keep that in mind. Punt-wise, Braden Mann had a kind of a day. He averaged 39 yards per punt. He had one stinker of a punt. I believe it was the end of the third quarter. Really not good. It was like 29-yard punt. Not what you want from your punter coming back from injury. So obviously, I hope those two areas of concern wind up being a little bit better, because as much as I love Amendola's strength in his leg, if he's not hitting the points and he's just kicking it out of the back of the end zone on kickoffs, I feel like we could do a better job. We could find someone better than that. And punting-wise, you don't want to put your team in a hole. So overall, not a great performance by the special teams unit. I'm going to give them a D for today. Speaking of D, the defense came alive. This was great to see. The Jets defensive line, led by Quinnen Williams and John Franklin Myers, 2 of our primo defensive linemen, really had big days today. John Franklin Myers leading the way. 3 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 quarterback hits, 1 pass defended, and an interception. It's a little holiday tune for all you cats out there. Quinnen, Sheldon Rankins, John Franklin Myers, the whole defensive line really got after it today. Tyrod Taylor does tend to hold the ball a little bit longer, but they took advantage of it, and they were able to make some really big drive-changing performances really happen there. So that was nice to see, especially because there was a lot of noise of people like being upset with John Franklin Myers and signing his big contract and not having like all the flashy stats that people want to see from him. But I think he's continuing to play well. I think our team lives and dies by our defensive line right now. And today we just dominated. We did a really good job. So overall, across the board for the defensive side of the ball, I would give this unit an A. I think if you get 5 sacks and you basically contain the Texans for pretty much the most part. I mean, aside from us giving up the interception that we'll go into in a little bit, we played well. We just gave them a short field a few times. So overall, defensive unit, I'm going to give them B+, A-, A, whatever. They did well today. So happy with that. I'm going to split up this next category to offense and then quarterback, because I think that's 2 important distinctions, and there's a lot to go into with each one of them. The offense was running without Corey Davis or Michael Carter today, so no running back 1, no wide receiver 1. It looks like we decided to run the ball a lot more this game than how we sort of saw the previous games with White and Flacco and Johnson, or at least that's just what it seemed like. I didn't really go into carries versus whatever going on in the last few games. But it felt like this game was definitely going to be driven through the run game. And having Laurent Duvernay-Tardif starting at right guard in place of Greg Van Roten was a nice change to see, and it felt like we had more push up front across the board. We wound up running for 34 rushes for 157 yards. So what is that? Quick math, about 5 yards a carry? I'll take that all day. Coleman, Johnson, and Walter all played really well. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at P. Ryan sitting on the bench, and you wind up pulling up Walter in place of P. Ryan, and this guy's days are numbered. I didn't love the P. Ryan pick when we made it, and it definitely feels like it's more of an Adam Gase regime fit, kind of like the James Morgan fit, kind of like the Denzel Mims fit. Like like some of these picks just sort of seemed geared towards Adam Gase's offense as opposed to this particular offense. And I think we're kind of seeing that with Pirine right now. He's just not fast enough to be the type of back that this regime wants overall. Receiver-wise, it felt like we had a little bit of trouble getting the ball to Elijah Moore. I would like to see him get a little bit more involved. He wound up finishing the day with 4 receptions, 46 yards. Braxton Berrios topped him on yards because he had the one really long run for like 30 yards or something like that. Overall, passing, not great. And that leads us to our quarterback. And I'll throw coaching in there too because I want to touch on that briefly as well. Quarterback, Zach Wilson comes back in first game after the injury. This was the game I said I would expect him to start because it is a softball type of opponent in the Texans who aren't known for having a great defense right now, and they just seem to be struggling across the board. Zach Wilson goes 14 of 24 for 145 yards. Ugh! That is like a 1980s, like, grinded out on the ground kind of a game. That's bad. That's not good. If you have 145 points as a quarterback in the NFL right now, they have like thrown so much at quarterbacks to be able to have successful weeks, week in and week out. And 145 yards is just really not good. He did have the one rushing touchdown, nice little RPO where he cut it back in. I want to say he was like 3 yards out from the end zone. Nice little dive there. But by and large, you want this guy to perform as a passer, and he is consistently missing easy throws. And this is what's frustrating for me because like I've seen him make those crazy wow plays, and it's awesome to see. But it looks like he's trying to go for that every single time. And if there's anything we learned from the last few weeks of him being injured, is this offense has talent across the board. Yes, we were without we were without wide receiver 1, and we were without running back 1. But when you have Johnson and Flacco and White all performing well, like 300-plus yard games and 400 for Mike White, I think there's definitely some type of disconnect there. And that's where it kind of leads me to the coaching side of things is those guys are performing well and the other young guys are performing well. So as much as we've given grief for the coaching over the course of this year, it doesn't seem like that's really where it's all at. Like they're throwing a lot of stuff towards Zach Wilson. And look, he's 7 games into his career. I'm not like very concerned right now. It's incredibly boring to watch. I'm not going to lie. Like I wish he would hit those short throws. If you're hitting those easy passes, and we saw it pass after pass after pass. He had 14 completions. He probably could have had at least 20 if he just hit those easy completions. There's like another 6 and probably another, maybe not 100 yards, but definitely like, another 50 yards, then 205 yards looks at least a little bit better. I'm disappointed in Zach. I'm not getting off the bandwagon. I'm still riding Zach through the rest of the season, all next season. I want to see this guy perform. I want to see him continue to grow. I'm hoping this is just a rust game and I'm not seeing what I'm a little concerned about seeing, and hopefully you can just iron all this out. Guys, let me know what you thought of this game. Were you really happy? Were you upset that the Jets wound up winning because of the whole draft pick thing? We fall from 2 to 4 and 5 and all this good stuff. Guys, let me know in the comments down below. How did you feel about this game? Happy, sad, good, bad? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, go Jets.
A win is a win, bitches.